Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Allies of Justice, a Requiem series. How's everybody doing?
Amazing.
Cool.
No, I would like to change my answer. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Amaze balls. I've been wanting to use that since I've heard
No.
it.
Fantastic.
I would say that you did not execute it very well. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that you probably have wasted your opportunity and you ruined it for the rest of your entire existence of using that phrase.
Can't take this away from me.
I
It's
take
taken.
it.
He'll Kronk whisper it to you at night.
Oh gosh. So,
The baggage. I hate you so much.
anything exciting happened with your week break with you guys?
I've had so little sleep in the last 3 weeks taking care of my nieces and my nephew. I'm so tired.
I've progressed at a pretty decent rate on other games.
Oh, what game is that?
Warframe?
God damn it.
No, I'm not booking your other sessions in here. I have not progressed.
How about Darkfall, Rise of Aegon? Great game, just saying. It is a fantastic game, you should try.
You want to hit a link up? I can't spell that.
Yeah, I'll get you a link.
Right.
What can you spell, Anthony?
Because I'm English.
My week was boring. I did absolutely nothing. And yeah. Fun.
Yeah, same here. Okay. Words.
That's fun.
I
Sure.
don't know if I'm ready
Yeah.
for this, man. It seems like a lot of responsibility. I don't know if I can come out of the locker room handling this type of game minutes right now.
Don't have a choice.
Damn it.
So, to start back up with where we left off, we're going to do something different. And I'm going to let the handles of doing the recap to one of you guys.
Oh, god damn it. Oh,
Who's
no.
going to take the responsibility?
Not it.
All right.
Not it.
I
Don't
can
remember
try.
anything.
Got
Who
this,
wants to
Philip.
do it? Is it just me? Okay.
All you have to do is focus on not choking. Whatever you do, don't.
He did it before. He's
Oh,
fun.
Alright, okay, so at the start of our last session, we started off in the middle of the fight that we had been left in. We were dealing with the giant ogre thing who was holding the girl. What was her name? Just scrolling down here. Jenna. He was holding Jenna in his forearm with the metal chains, and it was my turn. Adzay's turn. And Anze, by the grace of the god of luck, I forget who that is in this game, but essentially Adze was able to achieve 2 critical hits on 2 called shots, one being a ×2, one being a ×3, first in his hand and then in his ankle, and killed him immediately. Unfortunately, I also, for the rule of cool, said that he would fall into the fire as he did. So, not knowing that he also had one of those flammable liquids on him, he started to burn a flame, and
That was his fat.
and so the actual boss battle we were having at the beginning of the beginning of that session was not with the ogre, but with the ogre's burning dead body and trying to take the girl off, which was probably a lot more difficult than it should have been, mainly by my choices and the choices of others, but we finally got through and got Jenna. Unfortunately, she probably had a very traumatic experience with that, being burned alive over and over and over again. So we made our way back to where we left Tony. Gave him back his daughter. They had a nice heartfelt reunion. And with that, he decided to allow us to keep the sword. And we went back to the cave with Gub Gub in tow because Gub Gub just decided I preferred to be with you guys since you guys actually treat me okay than my fellow Crux. So we went back to the cave. We slept. Once we woke up, I believe it was Kronk who went up to the door, knocked on it, and discovered that Tony and his daughter were gone. In their place, left a message, basically saying thank you, but we're flipping off now. So they left. Then we had a nice, long, grueling discussion about what to do with this cave, considering he left it to us. Kronk not exactly trusting Gub Gub to take care of the cave by himself, at least for the time being. We decided to leave the cave as it was and head back over to the village where Tide resides in order to tell him that Tony was safe and with his daughter, assumedly. Once we got back, covered, caked in mud, we were able to tell Tide about everything that happened concerning the Crux. Gave him the sword, which he simply said, that's neat. You guys can have it. Like, okay. And then afterwards, we discussed about getting timber in order to make a door and also just gain a little bit of, I'm not sure the word is infrastructure, because I'm pretty sure it has to do with the economy. But anyway, just trying to build up that area for ourselves since we're probably going to be making it our headquarters in the not too distant future. And so it was decided that Kronk and Bear, I believe, only those two, were going over to meet someone, I forget what their name was, about the timber bits, about trading and such. And also to maybe get a job, to maybe go to another village and trade with them. I don't, and I know that Adze and I believe Joshua are going over to talk to Miss Babadook. I don't know where, I forget where,
That's Crystal, Adze, and Joshua are all going.
I'm going with you.
okay.
Okay. Adze turns around and jumps in fright when he sees Crystal behind him all along.
I believe that was it, I believe.
That pretty much sums it all up.
We also, thanks. We also, discovered oranges. That was another thing that happened.
No.
Terrible tasting fruit, by the way. No.
You gotta eat the rind.
They're delicious.
You have to eat the
I remember not appreciating oranges when I was younger, but once I started eating them, with how you're supposed to eat them without the skin, like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Anyway, yeah.
You would eat oranges with the rind as a child.
Well, no, I think I first bit into it with the rind, not knowing exactly how to eat oranges, and it just scarred me for a long time until I finally took the time to try and eat it, the right way, and it worked out.
Yeah, eat it not like an idiot.
Yeah. I was young!
But, yeah, that covers up all the bases. Adze, go ahead and get 10 weapon EXP.
Oh, yay, thank you.
Dang. Weapon XP.
So, as we get back into the scene, we come up on the hot summer morning, zooming the camera into the beach, waves crashing into the white sand, painting vibrant colors, caressing the mist with the sun. People enjoying the summer lifestyle here on Elp. As we continue on with our party of 3 currently heading to Mama Babadook's. Joshua being a little out of place as he's traveling through here for not the first time, but not often enough to be familiar. As the camera picks up with the small conversation starting up between the 3 of you, Joshua, Crystal, and Adze, while you make your approach to the small hut.
Yes. This Madame Babadook lady that you have spoken of, what can you tell me about her? He says to you
Well,
two as he follows you along.
Well, keep in mind that she's blind, so don't say anything like "look here" or anything like that. That's would be in poor taste. She has been fairly nice to us. She allowed us to go to we were able to purchase a cabin from her at a fairly modest fee, so it was very much she's been good to us, and we've decided to help her out in that regard with her crops. She's I believe it's eucalyptus crops, I believe. And they've been foraged through a number of nights, and she would like us to investigate it.
See. Do you have any leads in this investigation?
No, because the first time I tried to look through it, I got attacked by ants. And then Mr. Kronk was going to make a little bit of a stakeout, but unfortunately fell asleep right before it seemed that whatever went to take it finally arrived. So,
While you were talking, Yasha would have given you a strange look when you had mentioned that you were attacked by ants. Would have just given you like a confused look for a second, but followed along with the story.
look, all right, they're vicious little buggers, all right?
Right, he says, very pronounced.
You'll see. Let's just head to Babadook's.
Right, and as we're walking, Yasha will probably stay maybe a couple of steps behind you guys, and kind of like just almost like walking your shadow,
Not for
and
lack
like
of
keep
trying.
like looking down. He's not like a very focused on the outside world right now. He's kind of just trying to curl up inside of himself, basically, make himself as small as possible. He's not used to being around these strange places, and they make him uncomfortable.
Are you used to beaches?
No, I am used to the grasslands.
Yeah, I'm used to more urban area than this. Beach is certainly something that I was not expected to see. But at the very least, I can start doing a little bit more swimming.
Yes, the water is lovely here. And he looks over towards where you could probably see some in the horizon. It says, where I come from, we mostly find rivers, but I have heard tales of seas near my borders of the lands.
How does the ocean treat you?
I do not mind it. I find it soothing. The motion is comfortable.
So how extensive is this beach, Night, looking at it? Like, is it fairly big? Is it like I mean, how long is it?
There we go. It goes far enough that you can crest it with the horizon, looking in one direction and the other, before curving off with the uneven landscape. Since where you're at's a very flat landscape, you can tell when it gets disoriented from bends and rises on the ground itself.
Hey, so I noticed during battle, Mr. Joshua, if you wouldn't mind me saying this, a little bit of critique, you don't seem to be very fast or agile when it comes to moving about.
Joshua kind of looks at you with almost an affronted look, but he understands that you're not trying to be cruel. And he says, I am small, and then just looks away. He doesn't say anything else after that.
Well,
Not
I
heavy.
mean, yeah, well, at the very least, I can maybe help train you. I mean, you know, have you ever done any running sessions, jogging on the beach?
Joshua says, I mainly hunt my prey by patience.
How
Yeah,
far are we
and,
from Babadook's thing? Do we say?
Right
Did
in
you
front
see
of
it?
it.
Oh, right in front of it. Oh, well. How about once we're done here, we'll take a race to the back to the village, try and get that legwork in.
Joshua looks at you. Almost certainly, like he doesn't see the point of racing you when he knows that he will most likely be at a loss for it, and he doesn't really understand what you're getting at the moment. So he just says, "If this is what the company desires of me, then so it shall be done." But I do not understand.
Either that or maybe like a sparring session, just to loosen up the joints.
Do you mean to train? He says.
Yeah, like work on your reflexes and such.
And then you kind of see him like nod his head. He's like, and he starts to understand through the language barrier. It's like, very well, we shall train.
Yeah. Well, right now we just need to get down to business. Miss Babadook, is she there? Like, do I
As
see
you
her?
get here, you check the normal sign of her sitting on her porch, smoking on her whatever herb she was smoking, but she doesn't seem to be there. You just see her empty rocking chair.
Miss Babadook. I walk over to the steps and knock on the front door.
And with a creaking, eerie sound, the door parts open with the impact of your fist.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
Miss Babadook. You're gonna do a listen check to see if I hear anyone moving about inside. Oops.
Peering in
Man,
and trying to make the best of the situation, drowning out the sound of the sea crashing behind you. You listen in, Adze, before hearing the sound similar to like a hard surface rubbing against wood in a slow pattern. Like shh.
Hard surface rubbing against wood in a slow pattern. Does it sound like something's being dragged?
Kinda.
What do you hear?
Something being dragged. Is this like I forget. Is this a 2-story house or is it just one?
This is a 1-story hut.
Okay, I'm gonna walk inside and where do I hear this sound coming from?
As you look inside, you're taken aback as you take in the full description of the house. It's covered in like chicken bones, feathers. There's different fetishes that you're unfamiliar with and things like that that catch you off guard as you're looking through the house itself.
Huh. So where do I hear the sound coming from? Like, are there like rooms that I can?
As you look around, you think you hear it coming underneath one of the desks.
Excuse me. Hello?
Once again, as you speak up, the noise just continues to shh before slowly stopping.
Okay, I'm going to roll a move silently to try and move my way towards the desk and peer over. Oops, I should probably change my thing. So, yeah, there we go. I changed it. Don't worry, DM.
I'm going to follow him in very quietly.
If Joshua sees that these two are apparently alerted, or at least hyper aware at the moment, he'll take a quick look around the house and the grounds where people are looking and see if anyone's in particular is staring at the house or, paying it any more attention than they need to. Is that a spot check or gather? It's not gather information. Is it spot?
Like if you're just looking out, that would be a spot.
If you're just standing there and looking, if you're actually going around and investigating an area, it would be search.
Yashua's he's more of like looking around to see if like anyone's like moving about or like leaving from the place, looking over their shoulders or anything like that.
Wait, how? Oh, whatever.
As you look around, you're taken aback by the size of a small melon hole in the wall.
It's a melon-shaped hole.
Sized.
Melon-sized hole. Is it smooth? Is it unnatural? Is it jagged, broken?
You would have to go to see. You're currently standing there and you just see the hole there.
Alright, well, is the hole in the opposite direction of where my two companions are heading? Or towards them?
It's on the outside of the house. You'd be moving parallel with them, so you would lose sight if you wanted to go and see it.
Okay, well, Yashua, keeping aware of the situation, but trying to investigate what this is, will approach the hole.
So as Crystal, you're following along Adze, and Yashua, you're making your approach on the opposite side of the wall. You finally make your way to the desk that has the noise that made you curious. It hasn't picked up again since you've gotten there, but you're where it's at, and you're confident in your movements towards there that if anything was there, you stealthed your movements enough that it shouldn't have picked up your approach.
And there's nothing there?
You haven't looked under it yet.
I'm gonna look under it.
As you get to the desk, it has a gap that's around 5 to 6 inches wide, as you would have to get down on your hands and knees to look under it.
Okay, so how far is the desk from the wall? Like,
It's
okay, so
pressed up against a wall currently.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna carefully and slowly look under.
As you look under it, you catch wind of... I forget the word for it, but...
Rancid, foul,
yeah. No, the fancy word for camouflage.
camouflage. What?
Fantasy word for camouflage.
Not fantasy, fancy.
Oh, fancy.
How? There's this camouflage spell. Wait, what?
No, fancy. The fancy word for camouflage. I don't know what it's called. But okay, so I'm getting a sense of something's trying to hide.
As you see the scaly surface, black-green tans currently outlayering its side, slowly slithering across the end of the corner of the wall, making its approach towards the east side of the hut.
Concealment?
So I see something scaly that's slithering from behind the desk to another part of the building.
The east.
The east part of the building.
Correct.
Okay. Do I have Analyzing knowledge. I have a knowledge local, but okay. Does it have? How big is it?
Large enough that what you can see between the flat of the floor and the top of the bottom of the desk, you can't even see its full size. You just see it moving back there.
Okay. I'm going to look over to Crystal, who I'm guessing is somewhere behind me. I'm gonna put my finger up to my mouth. And
As you look over to Crystal, you see the head of a reptilian creature just looming down from the ceiling behind Crystal.
okay, I'm going to roll an innuendo.
That buddy.
Okay, let me see that innuendo.
Why do I feel like we're about
To
get
essentially
killed?
tell her to don't move.
Okay. Read lips, I assume.
Okay. I don't know. Sorry, what?
I'm gonna have to roll a read lips, I assume, right?
Well,
He's
innuendo.
doing this with it. He could have just mouthed it, but he chose not to. So no.
Okay.
As he
All right.
looks at you and tries to make motions, you just look at him confused, thinking that he told you nice hair.
What?
Just. All right. I'm going to. Okay, so I see. Okay, so it's going. So I see the reptilian thing. So there's a head behind her. And I see some reptilian something below the desk. I don't see any head on that. I just see the mass of reptilian flesh.
Scales, yes.
Scales. And it's made its way somewhere to the east part of the house, and then it's gone.
Well,
I don't see a head of it.
you don't see ahead of it, no.
Okay. This is a big ass snake. All right. Oh God. All right. Okay.
As you're looking at it, its reptilian eyes just seem to shudder back and forth. Its face seems to be covered with orange and yellow paint that seems to mark across under its eyes, down its snout, and up underneath its head.
God, you're really making me wish that I bought the animal handling skill instead of tracking. God damn it. All right. Okay, let's try this. Let me try this. All right. I'm going to tell. I'm going to just simply usher, Miss Crystal towards me because I don't want her right next to that. So I'm not telling her what's behind her. I'm just saying, come here.
You're like telling me to come to you?
I'm just like doing this to you.
Now's not the time to
Just
be rebellious and put your foot down saying you
Just
don't take
right.
orders. Which, of course, your character has no idea that there's a dangerous situation, so it could be the time to do that.
Yes.
Do I understand a simple gesture such as the come here gesture?
I would hope so. Do you?
Okay, I do. And
I mean, before when someone nodded at you, you thought he was hitting on you, so I don't know.
fuck you guys.
So, do you or do you not start walking over towards me?
No, I do. I walk towards you.
Before
Okay.
you do, Crystal,
Oh, no.
you feel something similar to like a fly buzzing around your ear, while Adze, you see the snake slithering its tongue out, around like caressing and hitting against Crystal's ear.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay, I'm telling her.
I'm so happy
tell-
right now.
As I'm okay, so I talked to you, Ash, before about how I was talking to Anthony, and he said that Kronk gave me the Crux dagger, correct?
Okay.
Okay, so
Yep.
all right, I'm
But
going
it's-
to reach into wherever I stored it and start pulling it out and putting my hand around behind my back.
Before you go further to that, Crystal was gonna move.
Okay, so Crystal, you were moving.
Yeah, I'm walking towards you slowly.
You don't swat the fly that's buzzing around your ear?
I'm just
No,
telling.
I'm gonna try to ignore it.
Damn, you're worse than no African kids in the commercials. They don't ever swat the flies.
It's
Oh
a
my
free meal. I
God.
would stop it.
Jesus Christ.
Got an observationist over here.
Okay, so Crystal, you
$1
walking towards me?
Yes.
Okay. Does the snakehead follow her?
It does not.
Like snake.
Okay, so she's making distance.
As she moves away, its head just begins to ascend back to the roof with disinterest.
Okay,
Fuck you, stupid snake bastard.
but you don't know that. Okay, so I just put my
I
hand
know-
on her shoulder.
Crystal wasn't saying that.
All right, so I put my hand on her shoulder, saying, let's just leave. Let's just leave the perimeter, okay? I don't think she's here. Let's just go. As I'm gonna take her by the shoulders, just quietly but a little hurriedly, ushering her out.
As you see Yashua's head on the right-hand side of you, just peek through looking at you.
Yes! I was just writing that. Yes! What is going on, guys? He says.
We're heading out of the house. Just shh, okay? Just shh. As I start leading Crystal back out the door. If
Stumble over something.
hopefully not.
Please. It's not that I wish bad things to happen to you. It's just the idea of an invisible snake is so cool.
I don't like snakes. I hate snakes. In real life, they give me the heebie-jeebies. I hate them.
Alright, so.
Okay. God damn it. Woo!
As you made your way
Alright.
towards the door, you continue to leave. That's what I said. I was muted.
Okay. All right. So once I get out, I take my hands off of her shoulders. Okay. So, I know what a snake is, right?
I would hope.
Okay. All right. So,
Snake is to nearly every continent in the world.
apparently, Miss Babadook has a pet snake, I think?
Pet snake.
Yeah, I think it's a pet. I have a fairly certain she's a pet. She seems like the type of woman who would have a pet snake. That being said, I don't know where she is. Maybe she's back at the crops. We can make our way over there. If she's not, then there's some cause for concern.
While they're having this conversation, is Joshua close enough to the wall that he can inspect it?
Yes.
Taking a closer look at it, is it possible for him to like stick his hand through? Is it sharp edges, stuff like that? Does it look like it was broken in or like cut through or something like that? So it's like smooth cut out almost. Okay. All right. So,
Damn it. As you come over to it, it looks like it was intentionally made.
I see. About you said it was about the size of a melon. Like what type of melon? Like a watermelon or like cantaloupe?
A melon, dude.
Big ass snake.
It would be the size of about a foot to a foot and a half hole in diameter.
Okay. It's not that bad. All right. So seeing this, most likely seeing them as they leave, since I could kind of peer through the wall, Yashua will go around to the front of the house again. to meet up with him, and he'll be like, "Was your friend not here?" He'll ask.
I don't think she is. She might be back at the crops, or maybe she's somewhere in the house sleeping. All I know right now is there's a big snake in the dormitory. Now, I'm fairly certain she seems like the type of woman who'd have a pet snake, so I'm not going to make assumptions. Well, actually, I am making assumptions right now, but I'm unsure. Let's just see if she's back at the crops. Because, wait, what time is it in the day? Like, afternoon? Noon?
It's before noon.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's fair as she might be working, so I'll say let's head over to the crops. And I'll start leading them to there.
Meanwhile, on the other side of town, in a lot less snaky atmosphere,
Fucking snakes.
At least there's no plane.
Bear and Gub Gub and Kronk make their approach to the dock. Currently, people setting up all their equipment and getting ready for selling and making money, essentially.
Gub Gub, you're so cute.
I
miss the
know.
bear voice.
How far away is this place? It's hot outside.
You should be around the dock somewhere.
Bear's sick of walking.
But we need you, Bear. You're the strong one.
Bear kind of just stoops down and walks like a insolent child.
Starts
Make sure you
dragging his
keep-
paws through the dirt.
Make sure you keep
Kicking
it
up
on him.
sand.
Gub Gub there.
As you're making
Gub
your
Gub.
approach and looking through the town, a handful of people seeing the scene of the Ursaring carrying a crux with a crag dweller in tow seems to be drawing attention. Not enough to draw them away from their morning duties, getting their shops ready, but enough that you're being seen. As well, I think you have the sword, don't you, Anthony?
I believe I do too.
So yeah, that they noticed that too.
Why is everybody looking at us?
You're the mascot, Bear.
So
You represent our company.
they think I'm beautiful?
They think you're something. Or maybe it's all of us.
How are we gonna cut down the trees without an axe?
Certainly not the axe that I have in my hand.
Oh, you're a prepared person. Do you have another axe? 2 more axe for me and Gub Gub.
No, I only have the one. But
We should buy an axe.
we should, yes. But the plan is we're going to go meet with this 10 guy. He'll help us out, and we'll help him out. And then we should be able to get some wood in the end for free.
It's not free if Bear has to cut it down.
True, but you get some food at the end of the day.
Can it
Remember,
be
I still gotta
shrimp?
get you more of those. Yeah, I gotta get you more of those shrimps.
Alright. Bear continues walking. He perks up a little bit at the sound of shrimp. Because shrimp is great.
How does Gub Gub respond to that?
He seems to not be protesting in the idea of more shrimp. But as you make your way through here, eventually a individual kind of pulls off from one of the areas, making heavy footfalls to kind of catch up to you guys. Excuse me, gentlemen. I can't help but to notice you have a crux with you.
Oh yes, he's our puppy. He's very cute.
Is it trained?
Oh, he's very trained. Place Gub Gub on the ground. Gub Gub, sit.
Gub Gub just
Crunch, crunch.
looks up at you and shrugs.
Bear makes a hand gesture. Down, Gub Gub.
He like picks up one foot.
Gub Gub. You know learn how to sit. Okay, play dead. And
Bah! He just falls down to the ground.
You see, he very well trained. Bear reaches into his bag, pulls out some pickle, and like kind of forces it into Gub Gub's mouth. Good boy, Gub Gub. And scratches him behind the ear. Oh, Gub Gub. Bear pats him on the back to try and burp him.
As you can see, it is a work in progress, but you can be rest assured his clan do not care about him anymore.
Well, it is yet to be seen. But as long as...
I have his,
Say again?
I have his leader's head.
It sounds horrifying.
Oh yeah, it was. He burned in a lot of flame, and there was a girl, and she almost died 5 times in a row. It was pretty terrible.
It's terrible when you say it like that, Bear.
You all are just bringing this up. He looks at you guys, still confusion in his eyes. He's like, very well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Before shaking his head and walking off.
Oh, before you go, though, sir, do you know where 10 is? Couple people are working to make some deals with him. Here he needs some bodies, and we need some lumber. Tide sent
And
us.
where did you hear this from?
Tide sent us.
Did he now?
Oh yes. Tide is good friend with Bear and Kronk and Gub Gub. And others too.
Well then, if Tide wants you to speak to 10, what kind of business do you have for me then?
Oh, no more walking.
Yes, Bear, no more walking. You can enjoy your rest now.
Bear sits down.
He crosses his arms looking at you, waiting for you to make whatever proposition you were planning on making.
Well, we heard from Tide that you are in need of a few workers. And since we are just starting to get our roots inside this town, we were hoping to make a deal. work for lumber or something to that extent.
And what are you supposed to be? A traveling pair of workers? A crag dweller, a crux, and a ursering?
We're just the strong hands of this group.
We have a whole company. I'm the mascot.
He is the mascot, yeah.
An ursering for a mascot. Impressive. Well, if you're looking to deal in lumber or labor, then we may have something to work with then.
Bill.
Are you able to swing an
What would-
axe?
Am I ever? You're talking to a crag. There ain't no crag alone that doesn't know how to wield an axe.
Watch one walk down the street to prove you wrong right now.
No, they all start with axe proficiency.
Just that one
And-
special
I
crag.
mean,
Starlight of the world.
Bear's never used an axe before, but he's pretty good with his hands.
And what about your pet?
Gub. Gub Gub should be pretty good too. He can sit almost, and he can play dead. He's very talented.
He's a lot more suited for more finer details, building and such.
Well, if you want me to do anything of that, all I need is the timber. He scratches his head, thinking about it, turning and looking at the dock before turning back to you guys. Very well. I'll give you a job. I need 2 logs of redwood. Bring it to me, and I will give you pay. If you can do that, then we can talk more about more work.
Do you have an axe for me and Gub Gub?
We have that.
Bear has no axe. Should Bear have an
don't.
axe? Maybe he lost it.
No, Bear. You're going to be the guy who helps carries the logs to him.
Oh,
You're the strongest. We need you, Bear.
Bear understand. Okay, let's just go.
But before that, can you tell us what these redwoods look like?
They're red, obviously. Bear rolls his eyes
He-
towards Gub Gub.
Looks at the horizon of the, well, not horizon, but the top of the tree line. He's like, come look. As he leads you to the end of the pier, you can see just beyond the tree line and beyond it these large trees that like triple in size the ones that are near the shore. In that area, to the east, or to the west, those trees in the back.
They look very big.
That they do. Oh,
I don't know if I can carry one of those by myself. How am I supposed to carry one? They're too big for 5 ursering.
Well, think of
Yeah,
this as
that's
your trial mission. You figure that out. If you bring me the logs, then like I said, I will see what we can do about other pay.
Oh, it's a puzzle. I love puzzles.
Right.
as you can see, he's not here for his brains.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Come on, Kronk. Let's go solve the puzzle.
Well, we got to eat first, Bear, and we got to tell the rest of our company.
Oh, don't worry about that. Bear has pickles.
No, we gotta tell the rest of the company.
Okay.
All right.
So then we can all eat pickles together.
And then before we leave, it's like, oh, where are my manners? Pardon for the late introduction. My name is Krunk, and I am here with Adson Krunk and Company. As I offer it my hand.
He nods as he takes your hand out and shakes it. You can just call me 10.
And
10 is
shall.
a number. That's a funny name.
And you are funny, I think. So, shall we
You
be
also-
moving on?
We shall.
Very good. He inclines his head with a flourish before turning off to continue paying attention to the dock, as he will.
There you go, Bear. Get my roots settled in.
He seems very friendly. Maybe we can organize that if we give him the logs, he can pay us in pickles.
No. No, we need the money to buy pickles.
Oh, that's a better idea.
Yeah, we can get more pickles. And we can also get more shrimp, you know?
We should go find Crystal. She'll be so happy. And Ajay and Yashua.
Yes, they would. They went over to Bob. How long has it been since we're here?
Not more than 10 minutes, really.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So let's let them figure out what Baba's and what they're gonna do there. Let's go in town. And we'll find you your food and get you some shrimp for him and you.
But we should find Crystal. Then we eat together like big family.
Yeah, that's why we need to get the food first.
Okay, it'll be picnic. Bear picnic.
We'll have a bear picnic.
So as you
Bear goes
guys...
to try and find a picnic basket.
Oh gosh. As you guys turn to go looking for assortment of different things while here, we're going to use this time to take our first break. So thank you guys for watching. We're going to take our first break. It's going to be 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll be back after that. So it's time to stand up, go eat, use the restroom, all that fun stuff. We'll see you back then. Peace.
Also, while we're doing that, I also want to see if I can do any gather information for lumber trade, lumber and all that fun stuff.
Do that after the break.
So, apparently, Knights